Hello. Hello, good afternoon. It is June 3rd, Friday. It's Friday. Mercury retrograde is over. Okay. But I wanted to look more into it. I know. I'm always looking stuff up. But Mercury retrograde, I found an article. It's actually called it's from stylecaster.com. When does Mercury retrograde June 22nd end? Keep this date in mind. Mercury retrograde is a big deal. It was a big deal for us. I'm going to just go through it. It's a pretty short article, but it has a lot to explain about what has been going on. Like, so much stuff has been happening, but it's pretty short, so I'm gonna just go through it. I'm gonna put the links in the description box, so if you want to check it out, if you want to check the link out yourself, you can just click on the link. It's gonna take you directly to the website. Okay, so I'm gonna go straight in. This was written by Shireen Campbell on June 1st 2022 at 11:42 a.m. That was in the morning time on June 1st. So she's been thinking about, like, when is Mercury retrograde gonna be over? Because some people say it's June 2nd, June 3rd. Today is June 3rd. But if you've been feeling dazed and confused over the past few weeks, it's no shocker, given the flurry of astrological activity over the past few weeks. It makes sense, which is why you're probably wondering when Mercury retrograde June 22 ends. Things are about to get so much clearer after Mercury goes direct on the morning of June 3rd. You read that right. Mercury's second retrograde of 2022 is finally coming to an end, and soon you won't have to deal with Mercury retro antics again until September 9th. However, with 1 week left of this retrograde, there's still so much more to learn. So don't forget to make the most of what this experience has to teach you. So much stuff happened with Mercury retrograde, like so many technical difficulties. Communication. Mercury is the planet of communication. So we had a lot of communication mishaps, misunderstandings. Let me just read the article. But Mercury is the planet of communication. So it's talking, texting, writing. It's, getting things resolved. But let's go in. Mercury will officially change direction 4 a.m. on June 3rd, ending a 3-week long retrograde that started on May 10th. What's more, as Mercury was backtracking and scrambling all sorts of signals, Jupiter moved in Aries on May 10th. Gemini season started on May 21st, and we had another monster blood moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 16th. In a nutshell, you might be feeling a little raw, excited, and stuck all at the same darn time. You've been through so much with this retrograde. Finally coming to a close, you're about to get a break from all of this intensity, because it has been intense. It's like so much stuff happened, so much stuff's going on, and then you have to find a way to stay calm and not overreact, not freak out. I was freaking out. I freaked out maybe like 3-4 times this Mercury retrograde. I'm sorry. But let me go back to this article. But it has been intense, so now I understand it, because we went through the super moon, the blood moon lunar eclipse, Jupiter, Gemini season started, like all this stuff. Like, holy shit, I didn't realize it. I thought I was just going day by day. But when you put it in a paragraph, it's a lot of stuff. Okay, with the sun in Gemini, this Gemini season, the mutable air sign is coincidentally ruled by Mercury. Communications. We are all amped up to share information and express ourselves until Cancer season begins on June 21st. Now that Jupiter has left behind whimsical, ethereal, and dreamy Pisces for a fiery, feisty, competitive Aries. We are rearing to get ahead of the curve. The combination of Gemini season and Jupiter in Aries should point to full speed ahead momentum. Full speed ahead, that means to go, get going, move forward. Like, let's go. We've had all this stagnant energy. We've been stuck thinking about what we're gonna do, how we're gonna move, and now you know like what you need to do, and you gotta get going so you can be where you want to be. Okay, the combination of Gemini season and Jupiter in Aries should point full speed ahead momentum as you experienced a game-changing full moon in Scorpio, an experience that sought to unearth your deepest feelings. You may feel somewhat confused. Thanks to Mercury retrograde, the planet of communication has not been firing on all cylinders. Cloudiness with a dash of confusion is to be expected. If you're having trouble making sense of whatever came up for you during the eclipse season, keep in mind that everything will start to make more sense once Mercury stations in direct. That means when Mercury retrograde is over. So Mercury retrograde is over. It was over like at 3 a.m. today. So it is over in the morning of June 3rd. It was over. Mercury retrograde began on May 10th and will continue to end on June 3rd. So June 3rd, today, Friday, it is over. Yes, like thank God. Don't feel guilty for being scatterbrained. Scatterbrained, that's thinking too much, or you have too much on your mind and you don't know where to put yourself. Like you just all over the place. Mercury retrograde is supposed to temporarily daze and confuse you. So don't act like you were going to be the only one to dodge its bewildering effects. You know, I really tried to stay calm and not let this affect me. But I guess in the beginning I was okay. But then during the end, like all this stuff, I had all these feelings and I start freaking out and I got, oh my God. But it's okay. It's okay. So I'm not the only one that was freaking out. But when Mercury goes retrograde, the planet of intelligence wants you to look within and be more mindful of how you process data and how you communicate your findings. So I had to like take a step back and hear myself or reread what I wrote, like, you know, because I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to be that. So, and then I was like, you know what, let me go back and look to make sure I'm not talking too crazy. But I made sense. Whatever I was talking about, I made sense. So Mercury goes retrograde to the planet of intelligence. You want to look within and become more mindful of how you process data. That's probably the stuff that you have been doing, emails that you have written, texts you have sent. Like, reread what you wrote so you can get a little more clarity. And how you communicate your findings. Pay attention to what comes up for you during Mercury retrograde, because you probably have unfinished business to deal with during these seemingly torturous 3 weeks, because these 3 weeks were hell. It was hell. Mercury wants to go back to the beginning and retrace your steps. Like, no. It wants you to fix the errors that have been holding you back and get a sense of closure from your past. You might despise how this retrograde manifests, often as miscommunications, unfortunate replies, all's bounced emails, missed flights, returning exes, and mistakes. But in the end, there's always a profound lesson hidden in the chaos. That's true, because I had to sit there and I had to go back and listen to myself and reread what I wrote, and and make sure that I wasn't too much, but I'm too much. But I made sense. I think I was clear, I was direct, I was straightforward, because there's nothing to play about. Like, what the hell is what? Like, I want to know. Let me make myself clear. back to the article, sorry. As this Mercury retrograde comes to a close, thank God it's closed. Don't forget, examine what occurred during the last 3 weeks. What did you learn about yourself? What mistakes were prevalent? Did any communication issues come up? It is through these observations that you can move forward with more confidence and self-awareness. Stop seeing Mercury retrograde as a hindrance to your life. Sorry. My feet was like I'm kicking the ring light. As a hindrance to your life, and see it as a quarterly pause. It's a pause for you to slow down, for you to take it easy. So I have been trying to be easy and not act crazy, but shit, it's at an end. I'm just glad that it's over. As the 3 weeks to slow down and embrace introspection. Then when Mercury finally goes direct, there's nothing stopping you from going out there and making your own magic. So that is, I am ready. I'm ready to get started, to move, to go, I'm gonna be on go. I am not stopping. There's so many things I want to get done. I want to do. I want to go, and I want, But I'm just glad that Mercury retrograde is over. You're supposed to slow down. You're supposed to think, and you're supposed to stay calm. You're not supposed to overreact to situations and things. You're supposed to think and be calm. You're not supposed to act crazy or because then you're going to have to go back and backtrack yourself and apologize when you need to, so you can set things right. Mercury retrograde is not a bad thing. It's a time for you to reflect on yourself, on your life, and it's a time for you to release what doesn't serve you. Like, you need to realize like what in your life is not good for you, what is helping you, what is not helping you, what is a burden to you. Like, you have to really sit there and think about your life and your future. Unfortunate replies, bounced emails, missed flights. I was so prepared. I was like, make sure you check your flights and make sure your schedule, everything you have planned is set. I was so prepared, but I think in the ending, I started freaking out on the last week of Mercury retrograde. Like, but it's okay. I'm better for it. I'm better now. And it's okay. Moving forward, I'm so happy Mercury retrograde is over. I am going to put this link in the description box. It talks a lot about astrology, the planets. It gives you the dates and things like that, just so you can be mindful. Because when the planets are in Mercury, like the Sun and Gemini and Aries, and they were talking about all these other signs, that's when you have to pick up like people's actions, reactions to things. Like, you have to pay attention. Just pay attention and you will know what's going on and how to react and everything. But thanks for clicking on my video. Always leave with love. Bye.